Now in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and name our shapes. Without naming our shapes, we can't code them because we need to have access. We need to be able to tell this rectangle from this rectangle and this rectangle from that rectangle because they're all rectangles. Even the background's a rectangle. So we need to be able to name them in a way so when we access them in VBA, when we start coding, then we'll be able to know which one is which and which one we're actually trying to manipulate and change color or whatever. Because even if you look at here on the first stage, on the first slide, this also is a rectangle and this is a rectangle. So we need to know exactly what we are dealing with here. So when I go here, let's say, when you select a rectangle, what you will see is this format menu pop up. We talked about this in the last video, and if you didn't see the last video, it's wise to go watch that one first if you get confused. So here I'm going to go to my format menu, and there's a special menu over here in the arrange. It's called selection pane. I'm going to go ahead and select that. On the right hand side, what you'll see is this list of shapes. We want to change the name of these shapes to be something that actually counts for what this actually is. So if I were to say this is a card, I'm going to want that to be maybe the name of the shape itself. So card, but I want this to be card A, okay, because that's the first one we're going to do. So I'm going to say card underscore A, and I'm going to call that 1 because I'm going to have uppercase A's and lowercase a's because one of the rules of the game is that the user is supposed to select an uppercase and a lowercase. So I need to rename all these shapes. So when I select on a shape, it'll be highlighted here in this pane. Also, if I select the shape in the pane, you can see that it's going to be highlighted here in the view. Now, if I want to slide number 1, you'll see that I get a different view here because it's depending on the slide that I'm on, it'll show you which shapes are on that slide. So I'm going to go back to slide number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this one here. And I'm going to call that card underscore A underscore 1. So that's my lowercase a1. This one over here should be called shape score. Here. Actually, I'm going to consider this a label. So I'm going to say LBL for label score. And I'm using what's called camel casing here. Starting it off with a lowercase, which tells me what it is, like it's a label. And then the name of it, which starts with an uppercase. So that's camel casing. And then on this one right here, there it is right there. I'm slowly double clicking in here to change the name. I'm going to go ahead and call this shape score so I can know I'm dealing with a shape here that I want to be able to change the number that goes in here later on. Down here is going to be kind of what was selected. You know, I can say what was selected or I can give some information as to what's going on. But for right now, I'm going to say selected. And that's going to be the name of that. Something really simple. I'm not even going to put a shape thing in front of that. Click enter from there. I have another one here, and that's the background. So I'm going to go ahead and call that background. So all of my shapes are named on this one. Now I'm going to go to my first slide, and I'm going to name these shapes. So this one right here is my start button. So I probably should just go ahead and call that start. I'll call it, that's going to be my, it's not a button, but I'm going to consider it a button even though it's a shape. So I'm going to put BTN start. Even though it's not a button, I'm acting as it is because when someone clicks it, then they'll go ahead and start. This one right here is the background. So now that I have all of my shapes named, I'm just checking over here. I want to make sure that I save this. So I'm going to hit Control S, make sure I save everything before I lose everything. And now we're ready to go ahead and start coding some of this stuff. So the first thing we're going to code is at least get this right here to move on to the next screen. I mean, that's at least the first thing we can do. And then we know we're on the right track. So I'll see you guys in the next video.